really want to weigh in on a part of the Roth versus pre-tax conversation that doesn't get enough respect. I feel like I hear a lot of people out there just saying, always do Roth, or if you're in the exact same tax bracket today in retirement, it's the exact same, or tax-free forever. And I think it's become popular to just recommend Roth, but I think there's some dollars being left on the table, and maybe there's some misunderstanding that comes into play. So let's start with marginal tax rates, and then I want to talk about how that impacts Roth versus pre-tax. So when we're looking at marginal tax rates, the first dollars that you earn are either the standard or itemized deduction. So the first dollars you earn, you don't pay any taxes on. For a married couple, about $32,000. The next $25,000 for that married couple, you're paying 10% on. After that, the following $75,000, you're paying about 12%. Then it goes up to 22 for another like 111 or so thousand. Keeps going up and up and up from there, right? And so if this is you working today and you're first 32, then 25, then 75, so you start filling those up, and each dollar that spills over starts paying the next tax rate. So yes, maybe your marginal tax rate is up here at the 22% bracket, but your average tax rate, because some dollars pay 12 and 10 and 0, is significantly lower than that. Now, if we consider that versus retirement, so we'll have the exact same brackets. We'll call them 22 and 12 and 10 and 0. Oftentimes I'll hear people citing, if you're at the exact same income now in retirement, the tax situation looks identical. And that's not necessarily true. When you're choosing to do pre-tax, you're deferring taxes, you're taking it off the top. So you're always avoiding whatever your top tax rate is, whatever your top marginal rate is. So in this case, you're deferring 22%. And then when you draw it out in retirement, you then start filling up from the bottom again. So you've been deferring. All right, I put $20,000 every single year, avoided 22% on that 20 grand every year. I hit retirement, I start taking that money back out. Well, that money then has the standard deduction to fill up, and the 10% bracket to fill up, and the 12% bracket to fill up. And yes, maybe you end up in the same spot with your marginal tax rate, but it's still deferred at 22% and taken out to fill each of the buckets along the way. That is a meaningful difference. That's not as simple as saying, I'm here today and I'm here there, and so it doesn't matter. Well, yes, but you're deferring only top dollars, and you have these huge brackets available at retirement to be able to fill back up. If you show up at retirement with only Roth dollars, you're missing the standard deduction and the 10% and the 12% brackets, and those are relatively and historically low tax rates you won't be able to utilize if you only have Roth when you retire.